everyone, welcome back to my channel. Herrera here. I hope that you're all well. Can we please listen to Yesung's second mini album, Spring Falling, from 2017 together, please? Pretty please. I'm just going to take it that you're nodding on the other side. I feel like I really need this today. To find out what I'm including in this, have a look at the description below. This is a mixture of music videos, live performances, lyric videos. As you know, some of these I have heard previously. I am going to refresh my memory, starting off with Paper Umbrella, because I think I only watched it the one time. That reaction time, that's the only time. Nothing against the song. I actually really love this song and I do listen to it almost daily. However, the music video doesn't feature him on his own and he's not really a part of the story from what I can remember. And I just find those kind of music videos a little bit blah, especially when you look like that. And why can he not be like the male lead in it? He can. I don't know why they choose to do this. Anywho, that's my personal preference. I'm really excited about this. I'm excited to see why this might have been the title track and Hibernation. So I'm excited to see why that was the pre-release, and just how this whole album unravels. And actually, because I'm working backwards in Yesung's albums, I kind of want to see how he's unraveling. And yeah, moving away from what I know of him today, much more experimental, very strong. Maybe when he was finding himself, I'm thinking like this album's going to be a little bit like that, maybe a little bit more ballad heavy. Yeah, so let's go. This is literally my scene outside of the window right now.
네가 떠난 그 순간 온 세상이 내게서 등을 돌리더라.
Don't lie to me when he sings like that, almost whispering, really letting that beautiful huskiness out. Can you not feel the breath from his mouth on your face? Like imagine him speaking just to you on a one-to-one. He's not projecting. He only wants you to be able to hear it. I felt that breath against my cheek.
미친 사람같이 보고 싶어 헤매이는데
Oh,
너는
there is no sound like that.
어디니 서투르게 사랑한 것처럼
Look at how he matches his voice to the instruments.
헤어짐까지 또 서툴러서 미안해.
He's very lucky that actually he's not just this husky voice type, and he's not just a one-trick pony. He is able to actually change his voice, and I think when I first came across him, that was the most shocking thing for me, because I was just like, really, this guy? I'm expecting his voice to just cut off at this point, and it doesn't. It keeps going, and actually he's quite dynamic, and I think he shows that a little bit more maybe with KRY songs. He's quite dynamic, and he can come in and like swoop under and over and take the charge and support you, and he just does all these wonderful things with his voice. But if you were just listening to a song like this, for example, I don't really think that it sells his full range. And I think that, yeah, he would probably get like typecast from a song like this. People would judge him very strongly, thinking that everything of his is going to sound like this. But actually, the more that you get into him, the more that you hear him on his own and within Super Junior and even his duets, you just can't help but fall in love. And that's honestly what's happened to me, without being giddy, without being silly, being honestly really serious with you. Like, there's no way to like fall out of love with that voice. Really, there isn't. I'm just in awe of him, and I don't think I've really been in awe of a voice before. Like, I really like the sound of voices and I like an artist, but to feel shocked and to have time stand still every time a man opens his mouth, even if he's singing the song that I've heard for the millionth time, that is something really special, and I'm just so grateful.
아무것도 모르고 널 보는 나라서 온다 떨어진다 내 찢어진 하늘 사이로 한 방울 두 방울 봄날의 소나기 너를 그려보다 불러보다
These lyrics are beautiful.
밤새는 그 빗소리
Such a strong visual, isn't it? A paper umbrella.
쓰고 있네. 괜찮다고 있지만 버텨낼 수 있을까 나도 모르겠어. 네가 없는 이 거리.
I mean, I'm getting a really sad tone for this album. I know that Fly is on here, but I'm secretly hoping that there is another happier song, maybe. Just because this is heavy for a title track.
사랑한 것처럼
But then if you're not doing stuff to win awards, if you're doing stuff to challenge yourself, to give your fans what they have been waiting for, potentially, then yeah, like I would go for a song like this. But you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to go out there and grab the biggest majority of the general public. It's really not. I think this is a very specific sound and style.
헤어짐까지 또 미련했어 미안해. 못해준 게 이렇게 발목을 잡는 걸. 온다 떨어진다 내 찢어진 하늘 사이로 한 방울 두 방울 봄날의 소나기. 너를 그려보다 불러보다 기억의 비처럼 내린 새벽. 밤새는 그 빛속에 널 보내던 그날과 같은 하루. 몸이
Wow.
굳어버린 나 그때처럼 단 한 발도 움직일 수 없는데. 간다 사라진다 내 흐려진 시선 너머로 한 방울.
That line is my most favorite. I always wait for it whenever this song comes up. I love the way he pronounces all of the words in that, the slight variation in the center of that sentence as well. Just the way that it's almost breathless, the way that he's delivering it. And if you watch live performances, you will know that he can also sing it live like that as well. It's just really cleverly put together, because I think sometimes when you're composing songs, you'll maybe come across, you'll put the melody together, the chorus together, the verses come a little bit afterwards, the bridge might chop and change, so they're slightly different from each other, and there's lots of chopping and changing going on. And that kind of, it cuts up the flow of the song ever so slightly. What I love about this song is the flow from the very beginning to the very end. You get the beautiful build in it as well. You get a little bit of variation, but at no point do you ever think that the story has stopped, or that it's abrupt, or that it's not pretty to listen to. Okay, I'm saying that it's a dark subject, it's a heavy feel for a song, but actually it's a really pretty song. It's very nice to listen to. And being sung in that voice as well, it's very calming.
여전히 슬피 떨어지던 꽃잎 위에 기억의 비처럼 내린 새벽. 밤새는 그 빛 속에 종이로 된 우산을 쓰고 있네.
I was right about that music video. I would have loved for him to be the male lead in that. I think there was absolutely no need for anybody else to be a part of that. That could have very easily been him. And it probably would have been quite nice to not have the cut between. I mean, he didn't need to sing it. You don't need to do that. It could just be a story running through the entire thing. We don't need you to lip sing it. We believe it's you. Only 10%. I do think sometimes, so I'm not saying this is 100% about him, but I know obviously being an idol and having to manage that look and that weight and everything all the time, I wonder sometimes, had he been able to be a bit freer in himself and not so concerned about the way that he looks? Obviously, there's social pressures. Would that have affected his voice? I wonder, because everything that you do affects your voice. If you eat well, if you are healthy, your build, your weight, everything. right? So if he had been a different body type, for example, how would that have affected his voice? I've been thinking about that a lot recently. And I mean, he is fantastic. He is out of this bloody world. But I can't help but imagine. And maybe like him every now and again hinting about the fact, or even saying that he's resentful of having had to been so controlled for a large majority of his life. Maybe in the future we'll get a less controlled Yesung. I think that that would be fantastic. Really.
이불 속에서 나갈 엄두 가나질 않아 Everything is good outside 네 품 속에서 나갈 엄두 가나질 않아 You're so cozy inside
There is a real lack of anything on that track but his voice so far, and I love it. Like, why does stuff like this keep escaping me? Why am I only getting to this now? Like, really, this is really irritating. And I'm quite annoyed actually that there are no subtitles on this music video and that nobody thought to sub this. Like, guys, I want this subbed. I did have a quick skim through the lyrics beforehand to see what they were all about. You can kind of guess from that hibernation theme they're going to be talking about, and especially if you're talking about love as well, I can definitely see there is a love interest here that you want to just sleep in, be cozy, share the warmth, dream about each other again, and yeah.
따뜻한 온기 적당한 온도 지금이 좋아
I love the backing vocals.
봄이 오기 전에 깨고 싶지 않아 그래 내 곁에 있어줘요 가지 말아요
As much as I really like hearing him with an orchestra and just really filling a space and killing everybody, right? I think this bare sound is really appealing to me more. Maybe that's what it is about My Dear. I think My Dear is like so basic that you hear nothing but his voice and it's barely even singing. And I think that maybe that's what I really love. I really love to hear the texture of his voice more than him singing prettily. And so, wow, this song, like 45 seconds in, can they swap it? Can this be the title track?
You're so beautiful It's so sweet of you 너와 함께 계속 꿈을 꾸고 싶어
It's even got a hook line and it's an English line as well. The thing is, had they released this, it would have appealed to a lot more people. People would have been singing that line.
You're so wonderful Always think of you 나는 조금만 더 잘게요
He looks so young, but the thing is, he always looks so young.
아무런 생각 없이 그저 두 눈을 감고 너의 숨소리를 들어 모든 게 고마운 걸 그저 그대와 함께인 걸 Everything is alright
This is so gorgeous.
갑작스런 겨울빛
Nice.
뭐든지 좋아 I will be with you 겨울가기 전에 깨고 싶지 않아 그래 내 곁에 있어줘요 가지 말아요
Who are his inspirations growing up? Because he's got such a distinct style and he had it from the beginning. I mean, this is mini album too. It was there right from there. But actually, you know what surprises me is that his first mini album came out in like what, 2016? That's like ages after all of the Super Junior success. I mean, I guess that's when they really got time to do other stuff and where fans got really desperate and were like, give it to us right now. But that shocks me. But yeah, he had this style going right from day one. So it makes me think like his influences must have been really strong. And yeah, like him having such a strong voice as well, in a way, it worked well because he had to find himself very quickly or just he'd be booted out. That's the thing. With a voice like that, if you can't carry it off, you're gone, aren't you?
You're so beautiful It's so sweet of you 너와 함께 계속 꿈을 꾸고 싶어
This is gorgeous. This is like a ringtone. This chorus.
조금만 더 잘게요. 영원하지 않아도 끝은 생각 말아요. 지금은 내게 무엇과도 바꿀 수도 없는 행복한 시간인데
Nice.
깨우지 말아요. 지금이 좋아요. 꿈인지 현실인지 모를 만큼 You're so
I love it. I mean, he didn't feel the need to go all out. For a minute, I thought we were going to get a key change and for him to just start really pushing his voice into his upper range like he does. But he didn't do it. He didn't sell out. He wanted to keep that feel. And it's so nice because I think often a lot of singers, especially powerful singers, they get lost in what fans want. And they also get lost in that wanting to show off all the time to like prove yourself. It's a very tough industry. I completely understand, but it would really take away from the message of the song, from that hibernation, that's such a key word. It would take away from the entire feel of the song had he have suddenly started belting at us. I'm so glad that he didn't.
Always think of
And I'll tell you, I already prefer this to Paper Umbrella.
더 잘게요. 나는 조금만 더 잘게요.
Look at those fingernails. Stop biting your nails.
수많은 별들을 보았네.
Wow.
텅 빈 맘 위로해 주듯 빈틈마저 밝은
He doesn't play instruments, does he? I wish he could play the guitar because it would just be so perfect to go with that voice. Him just strumming the guitar, even if it was sloppy. I don't care about sloppiness. Just do it.
빛으로 채워주고
And he looks so cool with it too.
있었네. 스치는 바람을 만나네.
Oh my god.
혼자가 아니란 걸 알리듯
The depth of his voice is ridiculous.
어루만지고 따스함으로 감싸주었네.
That sounds like young Yesung. That's like cold Yesung. I love it. But what does he actually sound like when he has a real cold?
어루만지고
that chin?
따스함으로 감싸주었네. 나에게 차가운 곳 이 세상 그대뿐인지 아무리 바래봐도 오지 않는 건 그대뿐인지.
What's going on? How dare you be so cute?
고요한 울림을 들었네. 외로움만 달래주듯
doesn't sing like that anymore, does he? Like, I think obviously his songs have become a little bit more experimental, so I'd have to think about a song where he specifically sings the majority of it in a real low voice like that. But I think, yeah, like he's different now, isn't he? He likes to push his voice up a lot more. He has, yeah, it's really interesting. This is what I mean. I'm seeing an older style Jason here. This is really interesting.
나에게 다가온
I mean, he is improving year on year.
세상 그대뿐인지
And don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with this.
아무리 바래봐도
But he's adapted to something else now.
뿐인지 나에게 사랑인 건이 세상 그대뿐인지 아무리 밀어내도 이내 닿는 건 그대뿐인지 수많은 별들을 보았네 텅 빈 마음 위로해주듯
It's just so beautiful. It's the kind of like song that you would just hum to yourself. This is not for anybody else. This is just so beautifully created. But I see so many parts of that and I'm like, he doesn't do that anymore. This is so interesting.
빈틈마저 밝은 빛으로 채워주고 있어 네.
That was really, really nice. I am always envious of them recording for radio. Anybody who happened to listen to that live, imagine going about your day and you switch the radio on and you just caught that. What an experience. But a lot of that strong depth, I think that he doesn't use as much nowadays. I think that his confidence has grown to become a bit more dynamic, to use a little bit more of his upper range. He likes to show us a little bit more of a variation within a song. I think that if he had released that song on his last mini album, it would be different. I think that he'd make the end a little bit more dynamic. It was very repetitive. I guess it was supposed to be the kind of song, like I'm saying, you're humming it just to yourself. It's very much stuck in that zone. But yeah, I think he's so different from this. This is just, I wonder if my opinion that I have now formed of him in this time is going to continue to the end of this album. I'm just really intrigued. I'm obsessed with these performances. He looks heavenly here. That hair is so silky. And I love fan cam type footage. Wow. What different does he look? Don't you think it's true that you just don't know the full experience, the full extent of that voice until you witness it live? I think that as nice as the clarity of recordings are and performances that are filmed like to be on YouTube or be on like official channels and things, as nice as they are, it's not until you've witnessed a performance like this and really heard it like that that you're able to really digest what this voice is capable of. I think that the depth of it, the fact that it is so muffled and that you can't really make out a lot of what he's saying there. I really love that. I think that, I don't know, do people say that that's a bad thing? Because for me personally, I think that's really, really nice. And yeah, he's sounding so good with a live band too. Wow. Hearing all of those beautiful things, those habits that he has in real life. Wow, it's so nice. I swear he's being a bit controlled there because he could really push into all of that. The actual track is very pushy and he's being really controlled. I think that like the mic system and everything is not that great. It does sound a little bit cheapy. Nevertheless, I mean, I think that he sounds really great. I'm liking hearing it in a different way. But I just feel like he's having to be really conscious where usually he would get lost. He's that performer that would get lost in the performance and in the song, in the lyrics, in the emotion, right? But I'm feeling like he's having to like keep 10% of himself a little bit more aware because of the sound system. He looks down though, don't you think? I feel like he's in a much better place now. I mean, I don't know what was happening to him in 2017, but this haircut really reminds me of that early days, so that exploration of the human body, that phase. So although he was fiery there, something maybe along the way happened and he mellowed a little bit. Things were changing in Super Junior, things were changing in the industry, in the world, like a lot changed. And growing older in the public eye and the pressures and all of that, um, successes, failures. But in this, with this hair, suddenly I saw that young, energetic, passionate Yesung again. But something is different, right? The energy from what he was back in early 2000s to here, I feel like the effect of the industry is like I can feel it. It's on his shoulders. The whole weight is on his shoulders. And that must be really hard because you're so incredibly passionate about singing, about performing, and you love your fans, but the world keeps talking, and it's hard to block out that noise sometimes. I think that, like, fame is a blessing, but also a massive curse. I bet he thinks about his life had he not been famous. Please. Put that chin away. That was really, really nice. I like it. Not fully in control, not fully perfect, but that for me is perfect. He's just such a professional. Keep going, keep adjusting, keep listening, make it right to the end. And yeah, the energy, the voice, it speaks for itself. Just the ever professional.
무심히 뒤적여보던 낡은 서랍 속 감겨낸 너의 사진 귀찮아서였는지 아까워서였었는지 이런저런 생각들로
Interesting because going through the album, I didn't expect there to be a song like Fly on this album, especially with the way that we started out. It was a little bit darker. I know Hibernation was quite nice. It was lovey-dovey. But then Fly was a real like juxtaposition. It was a change of direction. And then I was thinking, are we going to go peppy or are we going to stay in that zone? But actually, the sound of this, it's sounding really trendy, like a sound from those times. And it's featuring the one and only Kyuhyun as well. I'm thinking like this is maybe not going in the direction I was thinking. Maybe we are going sad again. Nice. He's so dynamic and so diverse, even within his whispering and huskiness. That is the same, but it is not the same as what he did in Hibernation, All But You. It's a happier sounding whisper. It's almost like can I even say, is there even such a thing as a falsetto whisper? This guy is just inside out, upside down, cut in half, put back together again. Please don't paint this picture for me. Okay, I like it. He's not singing it overly sad. He's singing it a little bit more romantic. One thing that I'm really appreciating about exploring a language that I do not understand is that so much more is taken in by my ears and my mind and my heart in terms of lyrics. I think that when you listen to stuff that you understand, you kind of glaze over things, you glaze over lyrics, and you don't really take in just what some of it means. Okay, I think sometimes you want people to be really just explicit in what they're saying, and until they do that, you don't always take the hint or get the message. The thing with Yesung is his voice is quite sexual. For me anyway. But when he says and when he uses the word breathe, and especially in the context that he's doing it just now, suddenly I thought, wow, that's really sexy. The picture that he's painting for me is really sexy. And had this song been in English, I don't think that I would have thought that. So I'm really appreciating the Korean language. Like, honestly, I'm such a fan. I wish I could find Korean classes because I kid you not, I'm so invested. I would learn Korean if I could. I think the online thing is just not, I just don't think that I'd make enough progress. It's not quite the same as face to face. But yeah, just like, I know this doesn't have a music video, but if it did, the way that they suggest stuff, the mood, the lighting, the coloring, the facial expressions, I think that when you understand a language, you often take a lot of that for granted. And I'm not taking anything for granted. And I wonder, had Yesung been an English speaking singer, would I have fallen for him as hard as I have? Because he's a Korean singer. I just feel like I really have to stop and listen to what he's singing about. And I just get stuck into him a lot more. And I really appreciate everything, the way that he breathes, the way that he sings, the way that everything is put together. And maybe I don't do that with English speaking artists. So yeah, this is a different level of appreciation. And yeah, I just really love him. I'll say it. I could have just said that, couldn't I? Like he's just being sexy and flirty, even though it's sad. Look at him coming in here and showing off. How dare he do that to us? I think, yeah, that was unexpected. For a minute, I forgot, even though it says very clearly right there that he is going to be coming in at any moment. But I was thinking he was going to come in for the second verse, and he didn't do that. And when he did come in, he was really colourful and so beautiful. All of those wonderful qualities that I love about him.
나를 숨쉬게 한 그대로 시간은
Soft, gentle.
넌 벌써 잊혔겠지만 난 아직 일어나면 다시 널 찾는 꿈을 꾸게 돼.
Very subtle. Imagine having these two singers and making a subtle song. Nice.
세상 그 누구보다 나를 숨쉬게 한 그대로
Love it. I love how mature that was. I don't know why I expect such out of this world singers to come together and just blow my head off, but they didn't. It was very under the radar, very subtle. I think that this is something you could just listen to on loop. It will definitely make you feel a certain way. And yeah, like I'm really thinking about the overall feel of the album. It does feel like seasons, spring falling. I'm definitely getting that feeling. And especially spring, if you think about spring in terms of falling in love with somebody, that really paints a very specific picture as well. I'm really glad that Kyuhyun decided to be a part of this song. Like, what a wonderful display of their brotherhood. What a slap in the face to those people that pit these two wonderful men against each other. And nobody overshadowed the other one. Like, honestly, the way that Kyuhyun sang that could be his song featuring Yesung. Do you know what I mean? Like, they sung that really beautifully together. And that was a really unexpected moment on the album. I really wasn't thinking that it was going to be like that. I thought it was going to be like Dorothy. Why did I think that? I just thought it was going to be like Dorothy. They were going to be screaming their hearts out to us. And actually, this album is not showy at all. Like, what was Yesung up to? You know what? I'm already going to say this, and I know that I've got another song to go yet. I've heard that song. But I prefer showy Yesung. I think that, yeah, this is a really mellow, easy to listen to, loungy kind of a feel album. But I like that he's become more experimental, that he is showy. I think that this does not show off his full range. Was this pre-military, post-military? Definitely post-military, right? 2017? I have no idea. I'll stop talking. Let's move on to the final song. Chin. Chin. Neck. Nose scrunch. Please? Oh.
이런 사람 아니었는데 뜻대로 되지 않네요.
You can never appreciate that on a recorded track, can you?
사랑이 깊어질수록 두려움도 점점 커져가요.
I think once in his life he must compose a song thinking that he is composing it for Disney. I think it would be absolutely fantastic. That kind of like, even if it was like an anti-hero song, it's something that is an absolute must in that voice. This song is sounding very Disney to me, very OST.
행복한 만큼 값을 치러야 한다면 뜨거운 눈물로 내야 할 테니까
So lovely.
그대 거기에 멈춰요 가지 마요 보이지 않는 곳으로
Now this is that typical tick the box ballad, showing off a little bit more of his range. This is that song on the album. And actually I'm surprised that this didn't become a contender for the title track. To be honest with you, I wanted to sit down and do this to stop myself from feeling depressed, but I can't help it. The whole feel of this album is actually making me feel really down. But the good thing about his voice is that I instantly feel really calm. Even if he is telling me a sad story, he does it in a way that it's like a big brother, you know, like kind of like putting his arm around you and delivering you bad news. It's that kind of a feel, and whatever it is, I'll take it, give it to me. I will listen to it, I will devour it, I will love it. But yeah, I kind of wish that we were ending the album on a slightly happier note, but I get it. I think that at this time, this is probably what the fans wanted. This is what he wanted to give us, and I will always be grateful for that. But as I said just a little second ago, that I definitely prefer the direction that he is in now. I think that along all of the mini albums, I can tell that there have been some absolute killer gems. But I think that if I look at complete stuff, that from this album onwards, from third mini album onwards, I would say that he is so diverse, and actually every single track starts to compete to be that title track and is killer and is pre-release title track worthy. And yeah, that you can really see how he developed and honed his skill consistently. That's the thing. Like, this is 2017, 2016 if you think about when he was actually composing it, and even possibly years before that. But he has constantly been evolving, and this is what makes me incredibly excited about his upcoming Korean album and potentially even Japanese album, if there are going to be two. That goodness knows what we're going to get now. Like, what kind of a space is he in now? Like, whoa, that just kind of, it frightens me. Nice. I love this. There was a real lack of squeaks on this album.